Hey there folks, I'm Mysterious JG, and I want to welcome you guys back to Final Fantasy X-2. The LP seemed to be over, but as I promised, we're going to go through the whole game one more time, where we're going to give the super whatever the hell sphere to the Youth League instead of New Yevon, and we're going to, by and large, skip everything optional and just speedrun the game as best we can. So that way we'll also get to see the good ending and blah blah blah. Let's just go through the intro with hopefully new clips, not that I pre-wrote anything. And once we're killing time, we'll figure out what we're actually going to do as far as why we're having a second playthrough of this game. Instead of just, say, me playing off screen to the point where you give the sphere to the Youth League. And the answer is, of course, you wanted to see more shots of Riku's leg.
Y-R-P in position. It's showtime, girls.
Yep, that's Riku being creepy. This is, I don't know if I'm allowed to skip this scene. Probably it's one of the scenes I'd be more desirous of skipping throughout this game. Despite making constant references to it in other LPs. And now, I'm sure you've watched the LP up to this point. Why would you start at this point, right? So, we know who this is. This isn't really Yuna. We know all the secrets and twists and turns that are in store. Glowing, sexy, magical, naked, but then not naked Yuna is actually LeBlanc. Which begs the question, does LeBlanc have that singing voice? Is she actually like a better singer than Yuna? Or is LeBlanc perhaps being controlled and manipulated by, what's her name, Len? That's right, because, we find out that Yuna's emotions are to some extent being controlled by a spirit called Len from the past, which is thankfully a little bit more benevolent than the ancient spirit Len's boyfriend spirit, who's trying to destroy the world. And you get the impression that Riku doesn't particularly want to break up the concert. She's just kind of watching the concert unfold and enjoying herself. And while eventually we become allies with the LeBlanc Syndicate, at this point they are our ultimate horrible, evil rivals. And I actually am tapping my feet a bit to the song here. Hey you! Hey! Hey! I don't understand why the security guard was after Pain. Like, what did she do? What did she actually do to, you know, Riku just like he didn't do anything. And how come security guards with batons didn't beat the crap out of those two guys who were like 4 rows behind me and Bobo and this other guy at WWE Battleground a couple of weeks ago? And the guy was like constantly shouting that he wanted the entire arena to gang bang. Oh, I'm blanking on her name now. Young lady from the WWE. She's always on their pre-show panels. I think in the real world she has a relationship with Dean Ambrose. Can't remember her name. Anyway. Yeah, and drunk guy spilling beer all over the third guy who's there with me and Bobo, who doesn't have an internet handle, so I don't know how to refer to him here. Anyways. So that was a thing.
Hey, give it back already! Boys!
We'll be boys in the hood.
Want in on this number? Then show me your moves!
Wow,
Think you can keep up?
Ormi and Logos look different here in this scene. The LeBlanc Syndicate thugs are essentially monkeys. Ecstasy. Just under 30 hit points of healing. That's kind of a creepy name, actually. So yeah, I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Oh, he's got like some kind of really low-grade regen going too, apparently. It's weird that I got the HD remaster and I have yet to actually play Final Fantasy X on it, even though it's one of my favorite games of all time. But instead, I'm embarking on a second playthrough of Final Fantasy X-2, which ranks significantly lower on the list of favorite games of all time. Apparently, it's like, I thought she was defeated there based on the animation, but then she hopped back up. It is a little rough beating up on Yuna in the beginning of the game. Dance a little longer.
Sorry, no time for an encore. Hold still.
I'm sorry, I'm not equipping that much. So we want to run through this screen as fast as possible. On the next screen, we have to duck to the left to see a scene. A lot of people were very, I don't know if they were upset or worried that by missing it I wasn't going to get 100% completion or whatever. I'm vaguely worried about getting 100% completion on the second run through, actually, because I'm planning to skip as much as I can. And just counting on a second playthrough where I go with the Youth League to get me to 100. But we need 100% completion to see the complete happy ending scene. Actually, let's go for Assault. Oh, that's right. They're in their default dress spheres, but they've got all their skills unlocked, I believe. She's got all the flim flam shit. Like, yeah, Pain already knows Assault because whatever garment grid they're defaulting to that I can't mess with yet, she knows all of the skills for that. I'll feel a little better when we get past these couple of fights here, and you'll see why in a moment. Before this video is over, I expect we'll be at our menu, and I can show you how this LP is pretty much going to go as far as combat. Because at this point, we don't have a lot of control over anything. But if we were to come over here, you see Yuna in her Moogle costume. She heals you and then tries to get you to move on and ignore her.
You, step aside.
You idiot. Salt is useful only when you know you're fighting jobbers. You certainly wouldn't want to use it in a boss fight because it casts Berserk on you. Alright, I think... Oh, not another encounter, good. We should jump straight to the boss fight here. Oh, there's or me or logo, it's whichever one he is.
You're too slow, little girl.
You're too slow. You are too slow to recognize my genius. Now I'm dead. And there will never be another Severus Snape.
This way.
Quick, run towards this column. Yeah, why are they running away from these guys? Other than the fact that they're weirdos. Hey, it's Mushroom Stomp. And Yuna continues to viciously murder these two strangers. And yes, they are Charlie's Angels. Remember me, Bison, remember me and Charlie.
Where's the imposter?
And I don't see any particular reason not to just go for assault again, actually. Even if I steal from them, in a minute we'll be loading a new slot, so. Because yes, I have been off-screening a little bit of New Game Plus, just to build up the monsters that we'll be using to fight, instead of Yuna, Pain, and Riku in the second playthrough. This cannot be! We cannot be defeated before the monsters appear! That's right, there's somebody big boss to come help them.
That's quite enough sniveling, boys.
We're the boys, we're the boys, the sniveling
aren't
boys.
you?
That is not a very long skirt you are wearing there,
Grid.
fake Yuna.
You give us back Uni's garment grid right now.
Get up out of my grill.
Girls ever learn to share?
Give it back.
How come she's in
There
higher
you are.
definition than
It's
fake
yours.
Yuna? And she transforms into an older, sluttier woman. I don't know how much older she's meant to be, but I think she is meant to be a bit older than Yuna. Okay, so this is like plot battle. I have to... Oh, wait mode. Well, we won't be seeing a whole lot of this in this LP from this point on. Because like I said, I'm going to be switching over to creature creator monsters. So enjoy these Sailor Moon-esque transformation sequences while you can. I have to use Darkness Dance. Hopefully the game won't break if I use Darkness Dance once and then use Assault. Because I believe Assault will even make Yuna as a dancer melee attack. I'm curious to see how this goes.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah, she does. She whacks people in the face with her microphone. Which she has, even though she's a dancer. She's a singer-dancer, I guess. She's a writer-producer. She's an agent/producer. Her entertainment law degree gives her incredible power. Iron Duke accessories nothing on the entertainment law degree.
I won't let you off so easily next time. Get back here!
Hey, she reminded me a little bit of Count Grendel of Grocht. That you will not get off so easily next time. And you don't know who that is, so never mind. I don't know why that, but she looks very old in that frame shot there, still shot. So our airship, which seems like we could easily put on weaponry that would allow it to defeat
I didn't know what was going
that
on.
level of goon. I mean, it seems like with the engineering know-how we have in that airship, we could get some cannons going that would blow up the Blanc Syndicate. But it has arrived. Now we're on board. Boy, this is silly looking. It's the one from the last game was silly looking, but this is a whole different level.
You sure look like you were enjoying yourself.
They're
I was.
hard.
It felt like some other person's excitement
They're
just
poking
took
out through your
over.
blouse.
That can happen when you use the garment grid. The emotions of the person recorded in the sphere pass to the user.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that dangerous?
He's just
I
a kid.
can't really say.
But it's your invention.
I'm just a kid.
I probably shouldn't be inventing all this stuff, and I won't take responsibility for it.
Dance, Yuna. I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
It'll cost you.
One moment.
Creepy.
She's kidding.
He is reaching down to the front of his pants there.
Lucidity.
Hey, I don't think we got to see this before.
I've completed my latest invention.
The Creature Creator. Use the Fiend Trap Pods invented by Shinra to capture fiends all across Spira and train them as your creatures for the going. Excuse me, I like creatures for the going. The more fiends you capture and train, the more fascinating tales you will hear about them. And at this point, we can quit, load, and I will actually, I played this far off screen, and then got into creature creator mode and started capturing and monkeying around with creatures. I still I could sink so many videos into like showcasing the actual creature creator mode, but just real briefly.
I know everything.
You trap creatures. I have different spheres you can use. Like say I want to trap a creature of the Moonflow, I can try to capture medium size, small size, large size, or a special, or I get to pick the species. Then you go back and you see if you got a creature. I'm not going to do that right now, because the creatures you get make up the inventory of your... Oh, and by the way, the LeBlanc Syndicate are in fact the creatures that we'll be using throughout this game. So, mostly you capture like regular monsters, but in this case I've made it a point to... And you can only get them on New Game Plus. These player characters become available to capture using special pods only in New Game Plus. So we got Brother, who you always are given Brother at the beginning. You can get Buddy and Shinra. Buddy you can capture in Chapter 3. I don't know that I'm going to bother. Shinra, I don't remember how you capture at all. But there's like... I think you have to get really late in game before you're allowed to do that. And there are other characters that you can only capture if you fight them in tournaments in the created character menu. Chocobo and Cactuar are important because there's tournaments you can't go into unless you have them. But we've got Kamari and we've got Lulu. I'm not sure why Waka isn't a capturable creature, but he's not. Later in the game, again, if you go through unlocking all the different things and going through all the different creature tournaments, you can eventually get Titus. Only his name is question mark. You can also get Orin. But LeBlanc, Ormi, and Logos, since you can have a team of up to 3, they were the ones who made sense. Like, if I waited until I got all the way at the end of the game and was able to get Orin, it might be fun to play through using Lulu and Kamari and Orin or something like that, but I can't. And similarly, I can't get Buddy until Chapter 3, and I can't get Shinra until a bunch of late game shit, so I can't really play through as Brother, Buddy, and Shinra, which might have been fun. So the only thing that you can do right from Jump Street is, from the very beginning, you can capture LeBlanc, Ormi, and Logos. So I figured I would do that. And I have. So the Fiend Arena, which is basically your way of actually... what I was using it for was grinding. But there's different tournaments. I think if I capture and release all the different creatures in the game, I'll unlock another tournament. I've unlocked everything I can unlock by just playing and winning tournaments. I would need to go through the whole game, all 5 chapters, capturing and leveling up all different species of monsters to unlock the tournaments that give you... Like the very, very last tournament of all is basically where you go to fight like the super bosses that are harder than the toughest bosses in the story mode. So this game has that too. Tougher than Trema is there's a monster that you can fight only through this mode. I don't know if I can be bothered. I mean, I'm going to play through the whole story a second time just to see the different ending. I don't know how much more than that I can really bring myself to do. But our team right now, and I leveled them up. Basically, the nice thing about the creature mode is that you can just kind of... These are AI controlled allies. You don't go in there and control them. You don't get to actually do command inputs for them, which means that you can watch Mystery Science Theater and riff tracks and stuff and just have this going on in the background. And as a result, I equipped everybody with accessories that give them double experience, and just like a couple of different Saturday afternoons spent watching riff tracks and, you know, occasionally pressing the X button to keep this thing going. And I've got my LeBlanc Syndicate leveled up to 99. They are all using the Valiant Luster Garment Grid, because the main thing Garment Grids do, since you don't control your characters and make them pass through gates, is that they have a passive effect. And I gave them a garment grid that lets them use Moogle Kurja, even though they aren't using it that often. I could instead be going with break damage limit, but most of them don't have anything that's going to break the damage limit anyway. I could give them access to Ultima or Holy or whatever. Auto Life, etc. Everyone has the mascot dress sphere because the only difference it makes doesn't seem to change stats. I think it just changes, again, it has a passive effect, so they've all got ribbon. And I gave everybody a hit point doubling item, and LeBlanc has Iron Duke. The other two both have Crystal Gloves, which just raises defense. And there you go. That is the party of that we are going to use to actually fight through most of the game, unless we get really bored with them. Oh, and I will have to equip somebody with, because they don't want to go around fighting a whole bunch of side battles by any stretch. So we will equip Yuna with a Charm Bangle. Or whatever the one is that prevents you from actually encountering enemies. I guess that's Charm Bangle. Now where the hell is it? There you go. So we might not actually get to see the LeBlanc Syndicate fight during this video. But we can at least talk to everybody.
This is Pain. I look up to her as a sphere hunter, and also as a friend.
And also,
I still don't know her
I have a
very
strange
well.
fondness for
She's not
Pain.
exactly the
I don't know what it is about Pain that I
I
like,
heard
but
she joined the Gullwings
Pain,
shortly
folks.
before I did. Riku doesn't know much about her either.
What now?
Nothing.
she just kind of showed up and everybody's too afraid to tell her to leave because she seems like she's kind of crazy.
Having fun?
You bet. It all began when I saw this sphere of you. At least, it looked like you. I couldn't say for sure. I
So
thought
she's
I
narrating to
looked on your
Titus.
sphere's
We
light
know
when
that
she joined
based
the
on the
Gullwings,
fact that she
so I
says
did.
the sphere looked like you.
Oh, in case you're wondering, the Gullwings are sphere
But,
hunters, and sphere hunters are,
Why is
well,
she narrating to Titus?
this. We fly all over Spira.
Rika's
really
like,
enjoying
Why are
myself.
you staring at
Glad to
me?
hear it. For a while there, I was starting to feel like a kidnapper.
By the way, I can hear your inner
Don't
thoughts.
be silly.
I know you're narrating this game to Titus.
Still analyzing.
Greedy.
fuck you.
Buddy and brother are old friends. Buddy says he was aboard Sid's airship with us 2 years ago. When I told him I didn't remember, he seemed disappointed.
It's funny when others are saddened by the fact that I couldn't care less about their existence.
Yuna, has my talking gotten better?
Your
He
speaking
really
has gotten
has
better, you
improved
idiot.
Quite a bit. He told
I
me
guess
to
for him to
practice,
be as major a
just so
character
he
in
could
this
talk
game
with
as
me
he
better.
is, his former incarnation's inability to speak would have gotten too annoying too quickly.
Because there's nothing at all annoying about Brother as he is now. So we got the Festivalist Dress Sphere. Good, we got another one of those. That was an international edition. An international edition.
I know everything.
All right, so now that I've talked to everybody, what are we really supposed to be doing? Up, up, and away. Kind of aspired to be spear hunters, became and find a spear to hunt. Might as well take it easy until Buddy picks up some leads.
I'm just gonna stand around here for a couple hours, but you take it easy.
All right, well I guess we could head to go meet Barkeep. Just figure out what we got to do to trigger the next bit of plot. I'm hoping that this playthrough is much shorter than the initial one.
Our barkeep's a Hypella.
Oh, I skipped right past
No
his
one
intro,
knows
poor
his
guy.
real name, so everyone just calls him Barkeep.
Of course, no one's ever asked him
Brother
his real
took him
name.
in, and now he works aboard the airship.
you soon.
Alright, well. So that's... Okay, we had to go meet Barkeep.
Report to the bridge.
Alright, we're reporting to the bridge. Take it to the bridge one more time. Chill the fuck out,
Treasure
Riku.
sphere waves. They're coming from those ruins they found at Gagazet.
All right.
One of the 2 new locations in this game.
Gagazet!
97% completion. Okay, that's good news. I just got done reading something that says that just by virtue of doing all of the sphere camera bullshit in Act 4 that you can only get by siding with the Youth League, you should get about 4 percentage points worth of completion. So I believe even if I ignore everything except the main story, as long as I try to show everything that you only get by doing the Youth League, we should automatically get 100% completion. So I was a little nervous about that. That being said, we're getting sphere waves from the top of Sacred Mount Gagazet. Are you guys like making fun of the Ronso with your narration? Sacred Mount Gagazet. Go get that treasure sphere, Go Wings. We will do that in the next episode. As I'm already finding myself wondering, so what happens if, like, you really do ignore all of the optional stuff in Act 1, and we get all the way to Act 2, and we've never even spoken to Kamari? Because I don't think we need to. You can't get through Act 1 because one of the two big hotspots that you can take in whatever order you want are Besaid and the Xanarkand Ruin. So you can't get through Act 1 without visiting Waka Muru. But theoretically, and I'm just trying to break the game as much as I can, theoretically you never have to talk to Kamari at all. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. I'm Serious JG, thanks for watching, I'll see you guys next time, but we won't see Kamari. Bye-bye.